Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start with Matt and his information
use?
on capturing streaming video. That's showing from Minnesota.
So, yep, hang on. Hi guys.
So I've been trying to figure out for a long time how exactly am I going to capture stuff off the web. I've tried, as far as streaming goes, I've tried iPad, did not work. I tried playing right at my computer, did not work. And I'm just trying to use things that are already sitting in my office. I had a Blackmagic mini convert HDMI to SDI to capture the direct TV feeds, which now I will have to get a HDMI splitter to strip down some of the HDCP stuff. But as far as capturing the streams, I figured out the Microsoft Surface works just fine for whatever reason. Using the HDMI dongle comes with, or that you can purchase with the Surface. It's the same dongle that will work with the Apple DisplayPort. So all you do is you hook up your Surface, same way you would with your DirecTV HMR10. Make sure you have it set into a 720 capture mode. Make sure it's set to a 720 capture mode, and then you can stream if you set your resolution to 1280 720, and it will capture. I think I did not change my resolution here. At any rate, what it'll do is it will capture 720. Once you duplicate your settings and it should, it normally does. I promise. Sorry guys. It does work. I've been capturing the stream. It works. I've been capturing streaming stuff for a while. Doing this for whatever reason I'm not. Yeah.
About that. I know some of the stuff I've done captures some stuff. You can read some of that, the quality of it, sometimes your connection and stuff like that. How do you, is there a way you get around that? You start recording on something that goes back quality.
I have had a problem going back quality. I do plug in the service. Are you doing that too? I plug it into the hard line. When I'm on Canton, I got no issues. When I'm plugged in hard line, it works flawlessly. It's a first 30 seconds, kind of looks like crap, but who's looking at the first 30 seconds anyway when you're capturing component TV stuff? The other thing that Tony did show me with the ESPN3 stuff is the footage is archived on there for a full year. All the college stuff is archived on there for a year. You just have to do a general search. And what I mean by general is if you're playing Arkansas State, the best thing for you to put in is Arkansas. You're going to have to filter out University of Arkansas, but you will get Arkansas State. You filter out by football, you review within, it's 1 year, I think, as far as the search.
I would, the year's probably not accurate because I was just trying to help Michael George out this week and getting him his TV copy versus Akron. And ESPN has certain games that they're only going to keep up for a certain period of time because I went to try to do it this week. And his Ohio versus Akron game is down, but his first game of the year is still up. So you're kind of hit and miss. So I would suggest probably, if you can do it, pretty much right after bowl season. That stuff will still be there. BTN, I know a lot of you probably don't have a BTN to go account, but BTN to go will keep that stuff archived year after year after year after year. ESPN contractually is going to get rid of it probably within about 6 months after the contest has been completed. I do a lot of capturing streaming content because a lot of my actual responsibility with the conference office is not only officiating, but also supplemental discipline. So across all sports. So if we have issues with, for example, in a soccer match, generally that's not going to be on your national television guide. So I've got to go in. I've had no issues capturing any streamed content off of either a laptop or a Mac Mini. What I'm using is I'm going straight into my editor. So I use Exos Thunder, so I'm going straight into Thunder. I'm using an H.264 Pro recorder. I'm going HDMI in that recorder and going out USB, obviously, into my my capture station. I've had no issues. The one thing I will inform you on is if you're using a Mac or a Mac Mini, you will need to go into your sound settings and set your speakers to the HDMI. It'll automatically just play out with its internal speakers. On your laptop, it'll automatically just go ahead and send it out. So I've been trying to actually figure out how to capture to the HMR10. So when Matt and I were discussing earlier this week that he uses it with the service to the HMR10, that's perfect for me. That will help me. Generally for me, and probably for most of you, if you're working in your office, you probably want to go straight into your editor, and I'm using the H.264 Pro recorder.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what, so blame the video guy.
Say the adapter, if we don't have a Microsoft server, what do you say?
I was having it, yeah, the Roy, and I think they said around $400, and you can change what resolution or what your output is up to 1080p.
I'm going to do it a little different.
All right, I gotta do mine a little different. Mine's a little kind of good, I guess. I take one of my cameras, I put the computer screen or close to record the computer screen. And then I
There's actually a program that I have found for capturing your on-screen. The program we have found is it's called A2 Catcher.
After I took it
I
off.
don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that, but it will it'll record whatever you got playing on your screen. The one side effect that I found that I don't really like is that it records sound going on in the office that you're in. So if you're talking next to your laptop, it will record you on there over it. But that is something that we have found.
You could disable the internal microphone and that'll fix that. And
I'm passing through the, I took the dock out of the equation here. I'm just passing through the HMR10 right now. I'm borrowing it with the character generation. I can see that, and guys up front can see that it's literally just a computer screen that's running right through here. You just bring up the watch ESPN and go. I haven't had many issues. I've had a couple of streaming issues here and there, just where but that, for the most part, it's worked flawlessly for me.
the biggest issue I've always had with a tube capture is the transcode time it takes to convert it over to MP4. I was wondering how, is there any transcode with Exos or DV support when you do it the way you're showing us?
You're saying, you're saying transcode?
Whenever you import it into Exos, is there any kind of?
No, because it's just like I said, I'm capturing, if I was an NFL team, I capture 8 meg.
Okay.
Same as if you were filming 8 meg, and I know Clemson does 8 meg. And
yeah.
An issue. So there it is, and it's passing right through. So
We use if y'all have an HMR10, we use a game capture card called the Elgato HD60. It's like $120, $130, and it works just fine for us. But we're not going directly in, we're going to a separate computer, and you can tell it to record in Apple TV formats, different types. Fun.
What is the Elgato?
It's a game capture. So it's made for Xbox 360, for streaming out to Twitch, but we use it for recording at ESPN 360.
anybody else for streaming?
All right, next thing we're gonna talk about is everything tablet related. So I know this is kind of a hot topic for all of us right now.
James.
We're about to buy, iPads for all our players, so I was just trying. How many people they're buying for? Are they locking them down? Are they giving them out? Take them back in?
You plug it in, so I have it.
Lock them down, all that.
It's-
I didn't start it.
No, you had it going when you plugged that.
We are in year 2 with iPads for Northwestern. We bought them for every player, walk-ons and everybody. Right now, we are at the point where if they graduate, they get to keep their iPad. I'm looking into an option of possibly doing a leasing option that we, when I'm thinking about it, the first one iPads and purchase new ones when they're, that way if you're a freshman when you get your iPad, when you graduate, you're not getting a 4 to 5 year old iPad. So it's kind of keeping the cycle fresh. I don't know if that's the best route to do it, but our DFO asked me to investigate some options. So we're not giving away old hardware to our seniors when they graduate. We personally use the layered method where we get the iPads in first. The video department does. We load on all the apps that we want them to have, and then we give the iPads to them. They log in using their own Apple ID, and they can then manipulate or put what they want on there. The reason why we chose that is because I talked to some video coordinators and felt like the players, if they had some more control of the iPad, they're more likely to take care of it. So that was the reason why we went with that layered method. I use Apple's built-in Apple server, Apple configurator. I'm about to switch to the Apple device employment program over the summer. So I'm not using any $6,000 third-party management software. We've had maybe 4 to 5 stolen, and that's just from leaving them in their cars. So we're not losing as many as I thought that we would. We didn't buy Apple Care. I did the pricing. I thought it was better just to replace the couple if they got broken than it would be to actually purchase Apple Care on all the iPads themselves. So that's kind of what we're doing up there. One thing I will say is definitely invest in a good case. We almost went with like a child-proof case for our guys because they're going to get beat up. One thing that I'm going to do this year that I did last year is when we get our new cases, I'm going to get one that's got a cover that goes over the screen. Right now, it's just kind of like an open screen. I feel like that will help a lot. We've had some broken screens, and I feel like they just have some protection over the top of it that'll help eliminate some of those.
Penn State, we started this program. It was very similar to ours in Northwestern. Every single athlete on campus got an iPad always. A program that basically the players get them, their iPad back to me. I don't do anything with them. We don't put any programs on it, they can put anything they want on it, iTunes, everything, send your things under them. One thing I figured out from them is, like Dar said, is because it's theirs, they take care of it. If it's spring break, they don't come to me, they go to the Apple store on campus. The Apple store on campus fix everything. If they do come to me, I give them the 1-800 number, and nothing involves Penn State, like us. So they take really good care of it. We had a couple of players where theirs was stolen. They put the find my iPad thing on it and it gets returned back. So we got kind of fortunate at Penn State. The players do want to purchase. We can't do it with them. It's something I want to look into with the wireless Cowboys. So something that they want to use for our cloud, excuse me.
And real quick on the replacement of when things are broken, I highly recommend having a contract written up that can go to the playing officer administration, so everybody's on the same page, that if a player breaks or loses an iPad, they know that they're responsible for it. So just to cover yourself, make sure that there's a written contract that you sign, your player sign, and whoever else needs signatures need to be on it.
So what we did was, all the athletes came to the last football building, and we had 4 different stations. The first station was they had to sign their contract. The second station was they received the iPad. Third station was they received the case, and then the fourth station was basically them signing over saying, I'm responsible for this, this is mine. They keep all their information on it. So I'm not gonna lie, we're probably got the best situation in this room in terms of those iPads. And the kids get to keep us. All the kids that got drafted or free agents, that's their iPad. And the seniors got the best gig because they just got it. Their iPad's brand new. So they're going to replace them every 4 years. So if you're a freshman, you'll get another one by your senior year. So every 4 years, a new set of iPads to go out to all the student athletes. I'm not sure. If they don't graduate, they have to report them back to us. So, for example, we had. No, they're sitting in my office. That's a good question. I don't know. We recycle for the coaches. Like, for example, I'm on my third coaching staff, and we're still rocking iPads when the coach return staff was there. So our running that coach has the iPad from 4 years ago. So the coaches we recycle, the players I don't know if they recycle. Because we had a kid that's got kicked off the team, and he had to return his iPad to me. That iPad's still sitting in our building, so I'm not sure what they do with it. That's a good question to actually find that out. Yeah, playbooks on there, Thunder Cloud. No, we don't do any paper. We put Teamworks on there. They don't bring any paper to the team meetings. Everything's on Teamworks. Everything's on the cloud. We're trying to go with this whole 2015 paperless thing because I spend half my day fixing printers in our building. So we're trying to get away from that. That's something else. What was the 4 hotspots downstairs? So in the ceiling, we had 9 meeting rooms downstairs. We put 4 ports in, and each port could hold up 30 kids. So we put 4 of them up down the hallway, and there's 2 in our team meeting room. So by the time everyone gets in there, none of them are getting overridden with so many kids on one port.
That's definitely something I recommend getting with your IT department because the iPads are useless to your guys if you're overloading your Wi-Fi situation. So like Kevin, we had basically an access point installed in each meeting room that handles up to 30 clients each, and we do not have any Wi-Fi issues. And I know if you're an Exos customer, you do Exos Thunder Cloud, there's some different tweaks that you can have your IT department do to the routers themselves that are way over my pay grade. I don't understand it, but to make them, you tie that meeting room to that router, so our TVs are not using the D line and overflowing that. So there's different tweaks you can do to make the Wi-Fi system better, but it's definitely something that you're going to want to invest in because, like I said, they're useless if they can't use the internet.
That's number one. We learned that on the road. Our first road was in Ireland, and the Wi-Fi was terrible there. But we're fortunate we got our own hotspot. But I don't get a password, so you have to emphasize to the kids to make sure they download their video, which they don't do it anyways. Download the video before they go and need the Wi-Fi. So they don't freaking much. So.
Anyone do that on Wi-Fi or on
The GA's really do it on the laptop. You don't like put data in the game or something?
No.
Only our coaches. Coaches and Blake. No. Only coaches get data.
How big of iPads
all users who have iPads across the board, what's the capacity users of iPad Wi-Fi? 32 gigs, 64 gigs?
64.
Yeah, 64.
We did 32, and it's actually in their contract that they're supposed to, it doesn't matter, it's not like we're policing this, but it's in their contract that they should leave 10 gigs open for video at all times.
One thing I've learned is these kids are really good with these iPads. They don't bother us or anything. You just tell them, you show them a picture of what the app looks like, and they download it, send it. Everybody's password is the same, it's player one. You need 6 characters. Yeah. What's that?
What is it?
I'll be in your system later. I will say one thing I feel like we did waste money on is we bought everybody's styli. And I walk around the meeting rooms now and I think they just get lost over time. One thing that I did notice, I used to walk around during camp and most of the players' backs were to me, and I could see that sometimes they were on games, on Facebook, doing stuff during the meetings that they weren't supposed to be on. So I addressed with the coaching staff, now GA will, stay in the back room and take a look at it. There's actual applications that you can install. It's like geofencing, where if you're in our football building, you can only open up Thundercloud, you can only open up Teamworks, you know what I mean? We don't lock it down at all in that way, but you do have the option to kind of remove the fun aspect during meetings if you wanted to go that far.
Stay there, right? Does anybody use their iPad to come on practice field and show it, anything, take pictures, or?
That technology is not exist.
You guys are using your iPad to film and watching the field?
Yeah, we only have 4 cameras, like 2 wide times of practice, so we run, if more than 4 coaches want endos that day, we'll be on the field with the iPad. And it works well. We use App Pandora, which is a free app for free computer software to pull everything off, run it through transcoder, get it to Thunder format, and copyright it.
An iPad, so you want to film your stuff, one dude laying on the ground. That's how we did with our kickers, and they all watched on that, and they're perfectly happy. We have Apple TVs in all meeting rooms, projectors, they have their own little.
Yeah, that's another thing is they're really useful for our coaches in meetings. I know that the Apple TV is a great solution. We actually have a VGA switch. Our guys have a dongle that they can switch between Thunder and Thunder and Playbooks on their iPads with just one touch of a button. But the Apple TV does have some great with it when it comes to the iPads.
Sorry.
Yes.
What are you doing about chargers? They lose them.
If they lose charges, they're responsible for repurchasing them. So basically, if they break it on their own, if they break the screen, if they lose it, it's in their contract that they are, unless something happens that's completely out of their control, it's their responsibility to purchase it. And a lot of times that we will buy the iPad and then take the money out of the checks. So eventually they are responsible for fixing the screen. If they get a broken screen, then I send them to the app store to fix it themselves.
How often do you collect them each year?
Never.
You take inventory throughout the year at all?
I walk around the meeting rooms. If I see somebody doesn't have an iPad, I keep track of that. I keep track of all the serial numbers and everything like that. But as far as actually like bringing them back in the office, I don't do that, no, not personally. I know there's a lot of guys in here that do, and I think it's a good idea.
Our guys will get an $800 bill. For example, a kid that just got kicked off the team, if he didn't return an iPad, it would have been $800 bill he would have gotten paid. Or scholarship money.
That's one of the nice things about going through the campus is it's tied through their student account. You can have a little bit more control over that way.
How do you enforce that kick off the team? I said, how do you enforce it?
Yeah, I get a bill, they don't pay a bill, they don't pay credit for it. Oh, it's a cutthroat.
Coaches break an iPad. I had 2 different coaches crack screens with, while they are in pretty much shatterproof cases, I have no clue what they did. Do you replace them? Do you just fix the screens?
I actually haven't had a coach break it yet, knock on wood. But I would probably treat them just like a player. If it was their fault, then they're responsible for replacing it.
Coaches get a new one, so they do drop. Now, I've had coach numbers in the room right now. You know, like, the coaches, they're baby. They get whatever they want.
Send some of those iPads my way then.
Now, what they don't buy for is cases. I don't understand that. They're gonna do iPad, they won't pay for the accessories. Accessories are on us. If you want an accessory, you have to pay for it.
Our university will buy the accessories. They feel it's much cheaper to pay for that than replacing the iPad. But at the same time, if they break a screen or lose it, the university will pay for it one time to either replace it. So if a coach comes to me and has it lost or has an iPad stolen, he says broken screen, I tell him to take care of it. You're going to be out $100, $150. Or so save that one in your back. Sometimes you still put it in the locker room, or you leave it on play while you're recruiting, because then the school will pay that $500.
Cool thing about us is they get blamed on the freedom to go purchase them on their own, so I want that stuff. Whatever you want.
How are you guys getting around or running into issues with giving the iPads away to players? State funds to buy equipment and now they can forward.
I was personally a little bit out. I didn't deal with the financial and all that with compliance. We're a private institution, so we might not be under the same rules, but that's definitely something that you want to look into if you're a state school.
There's an educational fund that you can buy iPads. You are allowed our student athletes iPads.
So it's not an athletic department budget item?
It's no way it's not just like giving them beer.
I'm sorry.
They say it's just like giving them beer, really. You can say that it's necessary for football team.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
It's just like giving them beer.
Beer. We gotta have sweet beer. Yeah.
So, and that's the discussion we're having with our IT people now, is saying it's just like any other computer that you buy on campus. They want to tag it, and they want inventory, and they want your content, and there's no giving.
So mine goes, my IT department buys my iPads. They tag it, and after he tags it, and they put the password software. We're locked down. They have to be and pass it out to what players. And then I'll let them know this player has this serial number iPad. There's university ID. And that's just not how we do it. And then we actually deal with a company out of California. We buy out-of-box cases for iPads, and we put the Maryland brand logo cases and then out-of-box.
Yeah, we brand our cases, but also we also engrave Northwestern football on the actual iPad itself. So, and I will say, do not rely on Find My iPad to find them, because if it's not on a Wi-Fi network that it's hit before, and they can't get in through the password, then you're never going to be able to go through Find My. So, don't know that.
For players, does anybody have a quick workflow for post game?
Teach them how to do it themselves. So what I do is we have like, no, it's
That's what I do.
we use the camera connector kit. I have SD cards. Once I get the coaches loaded up, a lot of our trips are actually bus trips. I have a video person on each bus. We each have a camera adapter kit with SD card in it. And the players now, I mean, by game 3, they were able to do it themselves. So I give it to one player, he imports it, and he just passes it back. I make sure I get everything back at the end of the trip.
How many kits can you pass around?
How many camera connector kits?
Yeah,
We have about 4.
that's what I have, but I was wondering if you might have a faster way.
Jeff, are you doing full game or half game?
We do full game.
If you do about half, it imports a little bit quicker.
Really?
I make 2 maps and I pass them out to each other, and they just pick it up whether first half or second half.
We
The rest
put
of you guys
both,
want to watch half.
we put both apps on the card. Just have it. And we do the same way Darby does, and we just give it to usually our back quarterback gets it first, and he just passes it to whoever else wants it, and it gets back to us, the back of the plane eventually.
It's just wireless. Backpack, it's all wireless on the plane. That's 80 out of that.
All right, we'll go with tablets and go with our next topic. Graham, more money than God.
It's not the case.
I want to talk real quick about that Cradle Point that we've been using this last fall. Pretty much what it is a beefed up hotspot, and the only thing that's different between like your Verizon hotspot that you get is that it has Ethernet ports on the back. So you can plug your Thunder network in, and if you're on a network that usually gets on the internet, you can distribute that back out to your Thunder network. So what we did was we bought a Verizon jetpack. Just was like, hey Verizon, I'd like to go get a jetpack, and then just took the SIM out of the back and pop the SIM into here, and the cellular network comes in here, and Wi-Fi back out here. It's $1,100, and we bought it from CDW. If you would like to purchase it, they have different antenna arrays for the LTE. So there's a different one for Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. So you have to have a carrier-specific antenna array for it.
It's still only one radio.
I'm sorry?
It's only one LTE radio.
It has dual SIMs slots on one array here. So you could have two Verizon and then buy another radio for AT&T and put two in there and bond them all together and combine your internet speeds. You could have 100 megabit of internet if you wanted to.
What is that?
Which one is this? This is the, let's see. Whoops, sorry. It's the 2100 Cradle Point, one word. And we purchased it from CDW. I will say when you put a lot of people on it, if you don't have a lot of capacity, or if the Verizon network is bogged down, you're going to be bogged down to 7,500 people on it. I don't want to get too technical with it, but there is a website portal on it that you can configure it. Sky's the limit on configuration. Any questions while we're in front of everybody? I mean, I hope it looks something. Cool.
All time.
Sure. Who wants the mic? I don't want anyone.
I think we're gonna do Savvy Line.
All right.
Savvy Group. Sam, Carol Seaver, Scott.
Thanks, guys.
And so, real quick, we just got a couple things we were, in terms of savvy rules. We, all three of us have spent a lot of time discussing and trying to come up with ways to make savvy possible. And we're there, and I've discussed a couple things. I'm gonna let Scott's we'll hit our list of things.
For starters, just wanted to engage deeper and just ideas and thoughts they have to be listening. So these two guys need to they deserve all the credit for all hard work into the solution. That meeting moves ago to try to recognize the concept that give the credit where credit's due, pat them on the back, and give the video coordinator, assistant, the opportunity to be recognized not only by the organization, but hopefully by their athletic department at the university. I know that through these awards handed out that quite a few people get a lot of love from their organizations, and that is kind of one of the big things that one of the big reasons why we did this, to help promote us in our back home in our athletics department. So everything that is being done is just an opportunity to further recognize the hard work that we do. One thing that I learned, and I told the guys this, one thing that I learned through this process this year is that no one likes Kansas State stuff anymore. So,
No, but anyway, so this is purely a discussion. Doesn't have to be a long discussion. In the end, if someone has passionate concerns or ideas, things that they want to share with the group, then we can take that into consideration as we move forward into next year. But some of the things that we wanted to talk about was the timing elements of the current 3 categories, maybe changing some of the guidelines of the categories, or at least one of the categories, maybe adding the opportunity to further recognize our membership through maybe a long form category, or maybe through a short form category as well, and then also address some thoughts as it relates to public viewing, how we judge, point system. Did it all? Public viewing, I just said that.
Well, having you had a member of what used to be on maybe.
I had a microphone.
If you're going to submit, right now, we switched to video this year. Last year, when we did everything, we posted on YouTube, and we were able to keep the videos private, and still use links to embed the videos on the website and everything. And I know I talked to Joel before the convention about whether or not he could actually post files on the website without links, and I don't know what the end result of that was. But if that still presents an issue, and we're going to continue using video, then the video has to be public on video for that to happen. So the discussion needs to be, if you're going to submit, or do we just say everyone's video has to be, you have to be willing for your video to be public on video. So that's a discussion that needs to be had.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Why does it have to be public?
So with video, there was no way to have the video listed as private and then put it into I forget what it was called, but the way we organized the different ways to organize the videos in categories and send them out to everyone. If the video was private, you couldn't view it as a voter.
So you can make it password protected.
You can make.
You can say password for every video.
I'm sorry.
Use the same password for every video.
Yes, there was. So I'm trying to remember. We can't take a link. The issue was we wanted to take the video and put it on the CSVA website. So what happened? Everyone received an email, and you received a link to a folder that had all the motivationals in it. It was password protected, and you now, because you own that link, you were able to watch it. But you couldn't put that link on the site to do it. You actually had to have the link to the actual video. And so you can't, but if the video is private, the link to the actual video won't work. So it's not like YouTube where you can have it listed and still use a link and embed the video. So that was the issue we ran into with Vimeo this year.
Why does it need to go on the website?
Because we have the website. I mean, short answer.
Hey, Jason, that brings up a lot of problems, because I know for us, the stuff that we do, and we spend a lot on just in-house stuff. No one wants to see. And we talked about yesterday with licensing, right? You know, there might be some songs out there that we're not going to drop $3,000 for, you know, and that really limits a lot of people just to put on the website.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and I've said this to a couple of people, this is just an opportunity, in my opinion, for you to have some of your work recognized. You should not in any way, for the sole intent and purpose of entering them into the savvies. So I know there was a big issue with our time restriction. Your recruiting video needs to be how long your recruiting video needs to be. If it needs to be 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, make it how long your video needs to be. And if it fits the criteria for the savvies, great. If it doesn't, submitted through video. I mean,
Would it be pertinent for us to vote on whether or not we want on the website?
yeah, and that's,
John, to your point, in your experience, the other,
I just know the idea, and SVT both use video, and they give you a password, and there's never a problem. So,
I personally don't think it's easy to do that, but I think we'll, agree on it.
I mean, if we can keep it the same way we did, the issue then becomes you just can't put the videos on the webpage, on the CSVA webpage. So if everyone's fine with that, then we can keep everything the way it was. It stays password protected. There's no issues. Everyone's video is private. I don't care either way, but it's just a matter of do we want videos on the CSVA website?
I personally, if people are not going to submit because they're going to go on the website, then let's not put them on the website, then the people are still free to submit and show their work, all they get credit for it, and just, there's some situations where we're not able to put it on the website because it's in-house stuff, and I'm fine with that, it's just my personal.
Right.
What we're afraid of is once it goes public, football scoops gonna grab it, and that was supposed to go in-house, now it's national. And that's what we're afraid of.
And then, so, yeah, I mean, I think this is not like this is not a, like, I'm on one side or another, it's just, we want to hear everyone's thoughts. I mean, all of my stuff is public, so I don't have that issue. I wouldn't submit anything that I didn't want public, but I know everyone's not that way, and it's just whatever everyone wants to do, that's the way we're gonna roll.
Are we all in favor of doing password protected?
Stay with password protected and not putting on the CSVA website. Time frame, time limits on the video. Last year was 8 minutes, this year was 7 minutes. Let's talk time.
Really, one of the big things about the time limit too was, for all of those that judge, first of all, thank you. That's a lot of time you took to sit through those and watch those. A lot of great entries this year. Obviously, wish we could do way more awards, but it doesn't always work that way. But one of the main reasons that we did that was when you have 30 videos coming in and they're all 8 minutes long or whatever, you know, even in just one category, you put out a half hour. If everybody's was 8 minutes, you put out 7. I know not everyone's is. You have the ones that balance it out that are 2.5, 3.5, 4, whatever. But you can't get to that situation where you have everyone that's at 8 minutes. And you start adding that up over 30 videos in 3 categories, that's 90 times. I mean, that's a lot of time you can cut out. Again, we're not asking to necessarily throughout the year just to enter the savvy. It is, if you have a video that fits that category, great. Obviously, the motivational ones kind of need to be that way because you don't, you know, the rule you don't re-edit them for a motivational because that's a weekly deal. You did it in 1 week to motivate your team for the next week. But in your highlight, in your recruiting, if it is a feature piece that's 8 minutes, in those categories, you have the option, you can re-edit them down. If you feel that piece is the best and you think it's going to win it for you, cut it out. I know that can be very, very hard to do. A lot of people have to do it. But at the same time, when you think about all the people that are judging the 40, 50 people that went through a judge, that's a lot of time that they're taking as well. And we're all working under the same guidelines here. Whether it's any of us that submit, sorry, but you know, the one like K-State, but no, like BYU either, so that's all right. I don't think about like back either, didn't it? Yeah, see, so everyone hates us all, we're good. But that's really where that came from. That's really where the time came from. That's why we brought up the idea of maybe, you know, adding a short form for those guys that do make killer 30-second pieces or 90-second pieces. And then we also have some KK videos out there that are possibly a long form. Just to have more opportunities for you guys to display what awesome videos you're making. And that's one of the reasons we're looking at, you know, the time constraints for those 3 main categories, but also maybe some other categories to feature those ones that might not necessarily fit those guidelines. So
Real quick, motivational category. Let's talk time limit. How long? 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes. 7 minutes right now. Leave it at 7. All in favor? 7 minutes. Highlights. Keep it as it is. 7 minutes. Aye. Recruiting. 7 minutes. Ayes. Aye.
We bring those guys in, we really want to give them. We look at the school, the highlights of the season, the motivation of the school. Those are naturally going to be hard. I would say group, any of those groups should be hard.
Well, and to point out, because I know that I think there may be a little misunderstanding with some of the rules in terms of your ability to edit your video. That when we say don't edit your video, it means don't make your motivational. And then in February, in preparation for the CSVA, sit down and spend another 3 weeks adding effects and pumping and blowing this thing up into the world. That's motivational. Submit the video to me. But if you have a 2-part motivational video, and the first part is this is what Team A did to us last year and how they beat us, and then the second part is your rap song and its highlights, you're more than welcome to cut half of that. Cut that first part off, or the second part off, and just submit that first part because it's still the original piece to use. Same thing with the recruiting video. There's going to be natural breaks in your recruiting video if it ends up being 12 minutes. That you can sit there and cut out the piece about academics, if you like, or whatever a boring piece in your video happens to be. You can certainly feel free to trim that out and then still submit it, and that's not breaking the 10-minute rule.
I'd be cool with lengthening the highlight category since it's kind of a free for all, whatever you want, and then that's kind of you have a long video, even if it's recruiting, whatever, you put it in that category. It's the longer version of it, so you're really free to do whatever you want with that, and it keeps the time limit on the other one shorter, but also gives you the ability to extend the version. Without having to a full one.
We want to make the category long form, where it's basically just wide ass open. Make something that's over 7 minutes, goes in the wide form, have the long form. You good with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
My concern with that is that how many students are actually get that? You get 2 videos and then you do it.
Yeah, well, so
I'm not saying that's gonna be the case, but.
And I really want Scott to really, because this was really Scott's idea with it. But one thing that I feel with it is you're taking long recruiting videos, long highlights, long motivationals, and you're putting them into a category and you're comparing apples and oranges again, which was the reason we went with 3 categories. And to your point, a highlight video isn't just free for all; it's anything that's not a recruiting or not a motivational. So your motivational is supposed to be the video you show your team on Friday or Saturday before a game. A recruiting video is supposed to be a video that you use to sell your school to recruits. Now, I get it. Some of you make voiceover videos and you have really great stuff, and others of you show your offensive highlight reel, and that's what you show to recruits. But understanding the intent of the recruiting category is to have a video that sells your school, your program, and your tradition, and whatever.
Okay, so just going through my notes as it related to my thoughts on long form, and probably reiterate some of the things that we've heard, but it was anything over 7 minutes, period. And then it was your recruiting video, it was your motivation. It was the web content that you created to highlight your #1 draft pick. It was cool content that you created, your office created, that didn't fall underneath a highlight recruiting motivational category, and most certainly did not fit within the time confines of those 3 categories. To once again recognize your hard work and the cool ideas that you bring to the table in the organization. My thought was this, is that it doesn't go through the normal voting procedures of which we employed for the other 3 categories. It was just the opportunity to have however many people submit these to membership at one level of vote. And yes, if only one person submits, congratulations, you are, we recognize your hard work. If there are 7 people that submit and you choose to go online and watch 7 times however many minutes, which might be hours, who knows, and you choose to do that, and you choose to vote, and you choose to recognize a first, second, and third, we will then tabulate those votes and make the announcement and congratulate those people that participated, and most certainly that the won their peers' votes. Again, just an opportunity to recognize those who do great work and hard work. Selfishly, that's another way for me to steal your stuff, to get great ideas, find great ideas. So that was those are some of the thoughts on the long form, and then I even had notes for a short form. You know, the 30-second or the 90-second short attention span theater pieces that you may be responsible for your website, or you may be responsible for, you know, development office or whatever, but just another opportunity to give you the opportunity to show your stuff and show how cool you are.
And I'll say there's 3 of us and we don't even agree on a lot of this stuff, so we don't expect everyone to agree. When Scott came up with that idea, my idea was, well, what if we take our CSVA page and we try to mimic what Football Scoop is doing with videos, and we put up a weekly long and short video or whatever, and we recognize this as the video of the week. And everyone knows they're trying to get their video on Football Scoop now. Why can't we do the same thing with the CSVA website? Then obviously you just have to be willing to have your video public to be a part of it, and you can submit it to us and we'll make sure there's all of that. So there's different ideas to go with. Thoughts?
No, I don't know how many in this room deal with other sports besides football, but has there been any thought to making a category separate for Olympic sports or basketball or any other sports besides football?
Otherwise, the deadline sucks for basketball guys.
Deadline sucks for all sports.
Yeah, well, it's not, just keep in mind, it's not football, and it's not basketball, and it's not baseball. And we have seen great productions throughout my 20 years of being here. We've seen some great productions and have awarded some great productions that are not football specific. So there are no limits as to it being a sport. And yes, you know what, for basketball, they probably messed up. Surprisingly, for football and some people in this room, it sucks. As it relates to, hey, remember, it's due. Hey, remember, it's been due. No, I'm sorry, you can't participate because remember when we said it was due? Well, it wasn't. So, you know, just kind of off the cuff sharing that kind of experience.
Well, and to add to that too, real quick, I mean, it's any video within a given year. I mean, there's got to be a deadline. So it doesn't matter when the deadline is. So if you want to submit a baseball video, submit your baseball video from May of 2014.
We're heading into our postseason. The time of the year where we're using lots of motivational videos, right? That deadline is before that hits. So now I have to use stuff the following year, which by then I'm over.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm already on another whole other group.
Right. I mean, there has to be a deadline. There has to be enough time for the videos to be submitted and watched and voted on. To have time. Shilling had a question.
Well, I was going to say, and you kind of addressed a little bit, submit it the following year. I know that you already passed it, but at some point there has to be a deadline. Because I,
Basketball and a lot of the other sports, there's three sports. That deadline is.
well, yeah, because baseball and softball are still playing. And
I mean, the only way around that is.
our conference is right now. So.
No, you have a later deadline for those sports. You're gonna naturally have a lower number.
You can't have a later deadline because we can't, because of the amount of time it takes to gather all the video, to organize it, to upload it, to have time to sit down and watch 7.5 hours of video, and then to make sure you're voting on it and you're giving it this due diligence. It's not just a simple sit down here, I'm gonna open this up and watch it for 30 seconds. And, I mean, it took, we give 3 weeks, and then you're doing it at a time of year when people are out and they're going on, family vacations and X, Y, and Z, and not everyone's in the office. And I mean, everyone's got an excuse for why they can't meet the deadline or something.
Could you just give them a rollover if you are doing a sport that is being played during the couple of months leading up to the CSVA? Your material can automatically jump over to the next year and compete the next year. It can compete, just have to do it a year later. The football can stay where it's at in terms of guidelines.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, right now the rule is the deadline is what, March 15th or something this year. So any video you've made from March 16th, 2015 until the deadline next year, you're allowed to submit. So if you make a video, you walk out of this room and you make a video, you can submit that for next year's Saturday.
No, he addressed it.
The highlight category, so about breaking the highlight category into a visual stuff. Take a highlight, take that into
My thoughts were adding two categories, a long and short. And the short would, so the long would be anything over 7 minutes, and short would be, it has to be under 2.5 minutes. Those are my thoughts. That is up for discussion.
My only problem with adding the 2 additional categories, we're breaking the 1 category into 2, is we cut down from 8 minutes to 7 minutes to say that half hour, like we talked about. Now, if we get like some school, I know like we this year always get 1 video. Some schools submit a video for each category. So maybe we could limit, say you can only submit 3 videos, choose from your 5 categories, just to keep the time down. I know it takes me a game. I mean, it takes a lot of time to actually watch everybody's video, give it the due diligence to vote on it. So if we do add the categories, I propose we limit how many each institution can.
Good thought, and we did think about all the labor that was involved in now trying to judge them and move them along the process. And going back to the idea that if it's the long form category, maybe even the short form, is that the voting process, it's a 1-step procedure. If you choose to go online and view 5 more hours of content and make your voice heard and saying, in this category, this is awesome, and in this category, this is awesome, instead of having a 2-step process of the savvy voting committee, get all the videos, watch all the videos, and then on to the next thing. So my thought to try and create more work, more mandatory work. It was more of an opportunity for straight to membership. What do you think?
Just real quick, so we can talk about this more. Some of y'all need to go upstairs, take a nap, right? I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to put these guys in charge of this more, on our Facebook, via emails, come up with something as a guidelines. So I want to stick around and talk about it. Certainly more, I need to go and we need to go do some things. So if you want to go up, take a 5-minute break. I'll sign your vendor cards. You can turn your vendor cards in to me, come back in and have a discussion along with them. But we need to-
I'm happy to stay, I don't know if. Okay, so you want to make that stay?
Real quick, everyone, we are in the